Hi you all, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a fun one, and I'm using the term fun a little loosely here, but trust me, you will think this is fun when you master it. We are going to tackle how to halt a toddler temper tantrum without threats, bribes, or punishments. And you may be thinking, did I just click on a witchcraft video? And the answer is no, but you're definitely going to feel magical when you master these simple techniques, I assure you. So let's get right into the nitty-gritty and talk about how to handle those crazy toddler tantrums. Now, before you think I'm just some sort of baby genius, I have to give credit where it is due. The techniques and information I'm going to share with you come from 3 amazing books that I will link below. Each of these books is available in audiobook format, and they are packed with way more valuable information than I could ever fit into a video, so I hope that you'll give them all a listen. I also wanted to mention that just like all people, every toddler is different, and what has worked extremely well for my children may not be the best approach for yours. Ultimately, you are the parent, and you'll know if you're doing the right thing by the results that you get and the way that you feel. So now let's delve into some basic toddler developmental info. We've all heard of the terrible twos, a normal stage of toddler development that, for many children, results in a lot of temper tantrums. The tantrums spring from a developmentally normal period where a toddler bounces between total reliance on their caretakers and a new desire for independence. Basically, your child wants to be in charge of more decision making, they want to do more things for themselves, and they want to communicate with you well, but often they can't, and that can be extremely frustrating. You couple that with the fact that their brains are still growing and they're not fully integrated, and you have this recipe for total meltdown mode. Surprisingly, the terrible twos often begin long before your child reaches 2 years of age. So what do you do when your kid starts to lose it? First, you need to realize that your child's brain is pretty disconnected when they are upset. Extreme emotion puts your child into a more primitive state where they can't understand long sentences and they aren't likely to respond to reason, threats, or even bribes. According to Dr. Harvey Karp, your toddler is essentially like a caveman in these moments of upset, and it's important to meet them on their turf in order to move through the tantrum and settle back into reality. So your first step is to recognize the emotion or desire that sparked the tantrum and empathize in a way that your toddler can understand. You need to get on your toddler's level, use short phrases to reflect their feelings, and use a compassionate tone of voice at about 1/3 of the intensity of your child. For example, let's say it's really hot out, but your child wants to go outside and play. They're standing by the door, they're banging on it, and when you refuse to open it, they melt down and start to tantrum right there. Instead of going into a long-winded explanation like, it's too hot to play outside, you could get sunburn, or instead of moving into a defensive or threatening stance like, stop crying or you'll go to timeout, try this. Get on your toddler's level, reach out a reassuring hand, speak with compassion at a tone of about 1/3 of their intensity, and repeat to them what they can't say but so desperately need to. Out, out, you want out, 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 you want to go out. Outside, you want outside. In my experience, a few moments of recognizing your child's desire and putting words to their feelings will halt the tantrum in its tracks. Your child will realize that you get it. Mom understands what I want, and notice that you aren't giving in. You're not opening the door, you're not going out anyway, you're simply fulfilling the human need of acknowledging emotions, connecting with respect, as Dr. Karp says. This is so important because it builds a foundation of understanding and trust that spans way beyond the toddler years. Once your child has come back to reality, so to speak, they are more able to listen and process language. At this point, you can move on to a more detailed sentence. You're sad. You wanted to play outside, but I said no. Then follow up with something like this. Hey, let's go read a book instead. Come on, you can go pick one. These same rules apply for tantrums when you're in public as well. If your toddler begins to tantrum, you'll first want to remove them to a safe place, ideally out of the eye of the public where they and you are less likely to feel judged or rushed. And then you can take your time going through the steps again. Get on their level, offer a reassuring hand, hug, or gaze. You know your child best. Protect them if they are going really wild. I won't let you hit. I won't let you bang your head like that. And then repeat the scenario back. Show them that you get it. Run, run. You wanted to run in the store. You wanted to go so fast. You wanted to run, but I stopped you. You're sad. You wanted to go, go, go. And then when things have calmed, sorry, you can't run in the store. You could get lost or hurt. That is disappointing. The point here is that we can set limits with compassion and foster emotional well-being all at the same time. If we choose more aggressive techniques to control tantrums, often we end up just fueling the fire that we're trying to put out. Likewise, if ignoring or distraction is your main tool, you may come to find that the tantrums just continue happening because your child doesn't have time to release their pent-up feelings, feel heard, or learn to work through their stronger emotions. In the case of distraction, they might even learn that tantrums result in a reward or equate calming their emotions emotions with material things instead of handling the way that they feel. Notice that we really aren't trying to stifle a tantrum per se, it simply runs its course naturally when we allow our children to have their feelings without judgment. We calmly stop undesirable behaviors. I won't let you hit. I won't let you bang your head. But we never shame our children for experiencing the normal emotions that we all feel on a daily basis. Anger, frustration, disappointment, joy, etc. Another way that we can cut down on tantrums is by learning our child's triggers and eliminating those. For instance, I know that my son will cry for a popsicle every time I open my freezer, so I just try to limit the times that I open the freezer when he's around. You can also cut down on tantrums by making as many yes spaces in your home as possible, meaning you simply keep the things that your child cannot have out of their reach, so they are less likely to cause a problem in the first place. Also, realize that transitions are especially hard for small kids, so one trick I use is the warning system. For instance, when it's time for us to leave the park, I sound the first alarm. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. Please finish up everything you need to do. And then I do this again at 3 minutes and then at 1 minute. So my kiddos have plenty of time to settle before we make the big exit. I do something similar before major transitions in our home as well. 5 minutes until bath time. Work towards a stopping place with your puzzle. No one likes to be interrupted, and this goes for adults and children alike. So these warnings generally help to make the transition from one activity to another go more smoothly. Also be vigilant in assessing if your child is hungry or tired, as these are big tantrum primers. I could really go on forever with this, but I think this is enough for one video. Remember, the trick to calming a tantrum is to connect with respect, don't feed the fire with threats or bribes, model empathy, and teach your child to name and appreciate their emotions. Meet them with love. Realize that tantrums are a normal and appropriate part of development. Children are whole people, and no one is happy all of the time. We don't expect that from ourselves, and we shouldn't expect it from our small kids either. Our kiddos don't have the tools to cope with overwhelm, so the best thing that we can do is model calmness. Show them that we are here with them in the eye of the storm, and we can help them to put words to their big feelings. It's hard to do this perfectly every time, but thankfully toddlers give us many opportunities for do-overs. I hope that this video will help you to navigate the terrible twos and to bring you closer when the tough moments strike. Your child is glad that they can count on you. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps me out, and share it with any other parents in your life that you think might need it. I will see you in the next video. Adios, everybody.